Facts about an ancient supercontinent, Pangaea. Pangaea is Earth's most recent supercontinent, which existed 320 million to 195 million years ago. I mean, you can imagine how many Earth changes we had since then. Not only that, but our Earth has been growing. Pangaea was a massive supercontinent that formed between 320 million and 195 million years ago. At that time, Earth did not have 7 continents, but instead one giant one, which was surrounded by a single ocean called Panthalassa. The explanation for Pangaea's formation ushered in the modern theory of plate tectonics, which posits that the Earth's outer shell is broken up into several plates that slide over Earth's rocky shell, the mantle. Over the course of the planet's 4.5 billion year history, several supercontinents had formed and broken up, a result of churning and circulation in the Earth's mantle, which makes up 84% of the planet's volume, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. This breakup and formation of supercontinents has dramatically altered the planet's history. And that is what's driven the entire evolution of the planet through time. This is the major the backbeat of the planet, said Brendan Murphy, geology professor at St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, Canada. Pangaea is the most recent supercontinent to exist, with Rodinia and Columbia, also known as Nuna, coming before it. A huge landmass called Gondwana also existed before becoming part of Pangaea, but whether or not it can be classified as a supercontinent is debated. More than a century ago, a scientist, Alfred Wegener, proposed the notion of an ancient supercontinent, which he named Pangaea, after putting together several lines of evidence. The first and most obvious was that the continents fit together like a tongue and groove, something that was quite noticeable on any accurate map, Murphy said. Another telltale hint that Earth's continents were all one landmass comes from the geological record. Coal deposits found in Pennsylvania have a similar composition to those spanning across Poland, Great Britain, and Germany from the same time period. That indicates that North America and Europe must have been a single landmass, and the orientation of magnetic minerals in geologic sediments revealed how Earth's magnetic poles migrated over geologic time, Murphy said. In the fossil record, identical plants, such as the extinct seed fern Glossopetris, are found on now widely disparate continents, and mountain chains that now lie on different continents, such as the Appalachians in the United States and the Atlas Mountains spanning Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, were all part of the central Pangaea Mountains, formed through the collision of the supercontinents Gondwana and Laurasia. The word Pangaea comes from the Greek pan, which means all, and Gaia, meaning earth. The supercontinent formed through a gradual process spanning a few 100 million years. In the early Phanerozoic eon, about 541 million years ago, almost all of the continents were in the southern hemisphere, with Gondwana the largest continent spanning from South Pole to the equator, according to a chapter in the scientific book Ancient Supercontinents and the Paleogeography of Earth. The northern hemisphere was largely covered by the Panthallassic Ocean, another ocean called Iapetus, after a mythical Greek titan, between the paleocontinents Laurentia, Baltica, and Gondwana, began to close during the Ordovician period, 485 million to 444 million years ago, and then disappeared during the Silurian period, 444 million to 419 million years ago, when Baltica and Avalonia collided with Laurentia to form Laurasia. Finally, about 320 million years ago, there was a major collision, geologically speaking, when Gondwana, Laurasia, and intervening terrains collided to form Pangaea supercontinent. According to the chapter written in Earth scientists Trond Torsvik, Matthew Domier, and Robin Cooks. But Pangaea was not the megalithic the megalith most people think it was. Pangaea never included all the continents at any one time. According to the chapter, for instance, the Paleothetis Ocean to the east of Pangaea remained wide throughout the Carboniferous. That's 359 million to 299 million years ago, and presented something of a barrier between the supercontinent and a number of large independent Asian terrains, including Tarim, North China, South China, and Annamia. And later, during the Permian period, 299 million to 251 million years ago, many former peri-Gondwanan terrains drifted from northeast Gondwana, commencing to the opening of the Neothetis Ocean. Pangaea broke up in several phases, 195 million to 170 million years ago. The breakup began 195 million years ago in the early Jurassic period. Gondwana is now Africa, South America, Antarctica, India, and Australia. First split from Laurasia and North America, and then about 150 million years ago, Gondwana broke up, India peeled off from Antarctica, and Africa and South America drifted, according to a 1970 article in the Journal of Geophysical Research Letters. Around 60 million years ago, North America split off from Eurasia. Having one massive landmass made for very difficult climate cycles. For instance, the interior of the continent may have been utterly dry, as it was locked behind massive mountain chains that blocked all moisture or rainfall. But the coal deposits found in the United States and Europe reveal that parts of the ancient supercontinent near the equator must have been a lush tropical rainforest similar to the Amazonian jungles, Murphy said. And the coal deposits are essentially telling us that there was plentiful life on the land. Pangaea existed for more than 100 million years. During that time, many animal groups thrived. During the Permian period, insects like beetles and dragonflies flourished. Pangaea existed for more than 100 million years, and during that time, many animal groups thrived. But the existence of Pangaea overlapped with the worst mass extinction in history, the Permian-Triassic PTR extinction event, also called the Great Dying. It occurred around 252 million years ago and caused 96% of all marine species and around 70% of terrestrial species to go extinct, according to Geological Society of America. The early Triassic period saw the rise of archosaurs, a group of animals that eventually gave rise to crocodiles, birds, and plethora of reptiles, including pterosaurs. And about 230 million years ago, some of the earliest dinosaurs emerged on Pangaea. The current configuration of continents is unlikely to be the last. Supercontinents have formed several times in Earth's history, only to be split off into new continents. Right now, for instance, Australia is inching towards Asia, and the eastern portion of Africa is slowly peeling off from the rest of the continent. Based on the emergence of other supercontinents in the Precambrian supereon, 4.5 billion years ago to 541 million years ago, it appears that supercontinents occur periodically every 750 million years. Most scientists believe that the supercontinent cycle is largely driven by circulation dynamics of the mantle. And beyond that, the details get fuzzy. While the heat from the mantle likely comes from the radioactive decay of unstable metals such as uranium, scientists don't agree on whether there are many pockets of heat flow within the mantle or if the entire shell is one big heat conveyor belt, Murphy said. And this is on Live Science by Tia Ghosh and Laura Gegel. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.